Well, here we are, everybody. We are returning to, of course, Forestella. And today should be pretty good. I am very excited because they have been quite the. I shouldn't say surprise because I kind of knew that we were going to be getting a lot of quality. But I'm still happily surprised regardless. So, yeah. Anyway, today we are starting off with Etude, which I am actually super excited for, knowing that that's generally something that's used inside of the verbiage of classical music. So I'm kind of curious to see if we get some classical feel out of this. So let's see what they have in store for us today.
Des sens fleuve dans le silence effacé, elle s'en allait doucement. Comment c'est que jamais fait ni demander ni conserver? Dans ses éclats,
Okay.
si fragile, si belle, si loin. Elle brillait sans dire comment, dans ses yeux un monde tombant, si fragile, si doux, si je ne crois plus en l'amour, pas dans ce monde pour nous deux. Et maintenant, je suis seul. Comme une brise qui s'étend, donnant de glisse dans mes mains. Je t'appelle son dans son, mais tout de toi sans moi, si loin. Il la voyait sans amour, en éclat pur dans ses yeux clos, si fragile, si belle, si loin. Elle brillait sans dire comment, dans ses yeux un monde tombant, si fragile, si douce, si je suis resté sur le chemin. Pourquoi je ressens encore tes mains? Tu tombais, je t'ai ramé. Pourquoi t'en laisses en moi? J'ai tourné le vide ici, je le sais rentrer la nuit.
Nice. Very interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Okay, okay. I think there's a few things we need to discuss. Okay. The word etude, in terms of like music and theory, is generally something that's used as like a practice. A lot of times it's a piece that's generally composed to help you generally handle like trills, arpeggios, and also leaps. Um, that is, I think, something that you can hear in this song. This is a more like French, but like waltz. Um, so does this song actually adhere to etude music theory? And I would say yes, definitely. Um, the idea, a lot of times when you write an etude, it has to be really done with a way that can be considered as something that's not just study or practice. And if it is, it should not be dry. It shouldn't feel um like it's practice. It should feel like a song. Um but the other thing is too, though, that I feel like is necessary to understand is that a lot of times it's an exercise to help push you as an artist, as a musician. And to me personally, I think that's where this really comes in, because it's such a sweeping, layered, technical waltz almost. I just really feel like that with this song, as I'm listening to it, it does push the vocal side, because it requires precision first and foremost. That's the big thing, is that it requires the precision and technical mastery to be able to do a lot of these sweeps and grandioso moments. So, I mean, yeah, I was actually kind of excited to see if they were going to adhere to the theory. And I think that, as a technique, it really does do quite well.
Je suis seul.
Comme une brise qui s'étend, donne que glisse dans mes mains. Je t'appelle son ton son, mais tout de toi sans moi, si
La voix est sans amour, en éclat pur dans ses yeux clos, son fragile, si belle, si loin.
Good handoffs there too. That is like so nice. This really could very much be used for that, musical technique and practice and theory. It's really well composed. And again, if you're gonna do something like this, don't make it sound so boring and so just like textbook. You want it to be able to give you that feeling, those emotions. So hey, I dig this. I dig this a lot. I think this is really cool. And I mean, I think that it's fair to say anybody who's a fan of Forestella probably will agree with this sentence. But I mean, especially coming out of Korea, this is a group that really is pushing the limits of vocal ability. I mean, sure, inside of the world of K-pop, there are phenomenal singers. But I do think that when it comes to Forestella, we are definitely looking at a bit of a more strict, classical trained practice and theory of music that I think demands a I don't want to say, I should say a more practiced and understood vocal talent of this particular ilk. And, I generally say that most people can sing and you can learn just about anything, and you can even learn stuff that like Forestella sings, but there is some talent that needs to be, discussed as well. So very cool. I like this. And to end it off all on, there was no live version or video that looked good. So we are going 100% off of just what we got here. I didn't want to have it be just some sort of bad fan cam, up in the top row of the upper bowl, something like that. So we're just gonna do the studio version. So we'll check it out. Oh yeah, we're doing in un'altra vita. So that's the name of the song. Anyway, had to remember to say that. We're gonna get full acapella this time? Nope.
Io racconterò la storia di noi due come un Vangelo. Io ti ruberò di giorno e ti porterò nel posto più vicino al cielo, come sopra un avamposto, sull'eternità, sulla vita che sarà, e sarà qualunque il costo, la mia sola volontà.
Io ti costruirò una casa e poi ti servirò come un altare. Io ti insegnerò ad andare come vanno via gli uccelli.
Ridosso al mare, a un incendio di capelli, nell'immensità di quel tempo che sarà, e saremo ancora quelli di un'età che non ha età.
Io, te e quel nostro bene, tutti e tre ci teniamo insieme ora e qui, e non basterà così neanche un'altra vita.
Io farò della mia anima lo scrigno per la
Nice with the
tua
percussions coming in right there.
bellezza. Io mi prenderò bene nel sepolcro del mio petto.
Dentro una carezza, nel miracolo di un tetto.
Nella luminosità di un domani che sarà, e sarai passione, affetto e strada che non finirà.
Io, te e quel nostro bene, tutti e tre che corriamo insieme ora e qui.
Sorry, I'm taking down notes too. There's something interesting about this song.
Sopra un'altra vita, ebbe fretta e scappò via. La gioia crebbe sul dolore.
Sola e con poca allegria che ti scalda le ossa del cuore.
Ma che cosa è mai successo a noi?
Tu mi guardavi e non capivi, e che puoi farci se
I love that. Yes.
Nostro bene, tutti e tre ci lasciamo insieme ora e qui ci andrà forse meglio, sì, in un'altra vita allora e per sempre ci ritroveremo lì in un'altra vita. In un'altra vita. In un'altra vita.
Listen to this on with some headphones. This is amazing. Okay, so the interesting thing is, there is always one thing that I feel like is a possibility that I feel like can happen. Not saying that this did, but when it comes to crossover and doing what most would consider as popra, or crossover hybrid pop opera, whatever you want to call it, there's always a chance that it just kind of comes across as trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Because I feel like sometimes they try to mix, like, dare I say, like almost soft rock or just like rock drums almost into it. It's really bizarre sometimes. But sometimes, I think if you have the correct people working on it, I think it can be something spectacular. And I think that that's kind of what I was noticing here. I thought to myself, this might be one of the few times where I'm listening to like crossover popra and I'm not feeling like this is so, dare I say, cringe. And I do have to say, personally, I do think that they have a little bit more opera in them than pop. I think that might be another thing that plays into why I like them so much more than others. Because, like, personally, if I'm being honest, I prefer to listen to them over like groups like Il Divo. It doesn't sound dated, but it sounds classic. That's one thing that I feel like I think it needs to be talked about, is that if it's something that's like classically accepted, not necessarily like on an operatic or like classical music stance, but it's more like if it's not part of just like a trend, it just can last longer, And like I think about songs like Apocalypse or Armageddon or Utopia. And to me, I feel like that those songs will age, and like songs like this, Altra Vida, will have a longer shelf life, because it's not them trying to sound like modern. Does that make sense? I hope I'm explaining myself. And to me personally, like, I personally feel like that when I listen to this song, I get a lot of what I look for in classic, because this is still a crossover group that needs to be understood. But my goodness, this is one of those songs where I'm sitting here listening to this, I'm like, man, it's got the classical, like, building of like classical music. It has the crescendos of classical music, and yet they do add in some stuff that will be modern, but it just doesn't feel like that they're trying to be modern. It's more like they're using the tools that are in their arsenal rather than just trying to mash things together that don't work. Does that make sense? I hope I'm explaining myself correctly. But to me, like, that's where I get with this. Like, I'm listening to this and I think to myself, this just doesn't sound like something that will age or age terribly.
È quel nostro bene, tutti e tre ci teniamo.
See, like, there's the strings and the piano, and you know, it's just so much nicer. And even when they do introduce like the percussions, it's just a nice add on. It's an addition. It's not trying to, again, force anything into that, you know, circular hole. It's almost like the drumming is more jazz like in some senses. It's it sounds like he's using the wire brush for one of the sticks, so it's going to create that more jazzy feel to it. I think that it just sounds better to me. Anyway, let me know what y'all thinking about this. I think that this is a phenomenal song, phenomenal day too. I really like this. So anyway, let me know what y'all think, and we'll discuss this down in the comments below. Thank you and goodbye.